Greetings to you. I hope all of you will be fine at your home. My name is Miss Basireen and I teach English in Senior Wing Boys. I welcome you all in second lecture of English. Surely all of you have fully comprehended the content of Unit 1, that is comprehension, question answers and vocabulary, given on page 1 to 8. Today we will proceed towards the remaining exercises of Unit 1. Before starting the task, I would like to share objectives with you. So the objectives are: student will be able to recognize and use adjective in sentences, understand the concept of conditionals and use appropriate verbs to make conditional type 1 sentences. Write an application to the principal for sick leave or an urgent work on the given format. Write a paragraph on the given topic with. Now I will teach you very important and basic topic of English grammar. It will help you to review and make everything little easier to practice the exercises given on page 9. So the topic is adjectives and the type of adjectives. First of all, we'll come to know that what are adjectives. An adjective is a word that modifies the noun or a pronoun. It describes or point out a person, place or thing, or to tell the number or quantity. For example, an honest man, an intelligent girl, poor people, etc. So according to definition, adjective can further be divided into different types. There are 8 types of adjectives which are briefly discussed here: proper adjective, descriptive, qualitative, or attributive adjective, quantitative adjective, numeral adjective, demonstrative adjective, distributive adjective, interrogative adjective, and the last one is possessive adjective. Okay, now let's start with the first one, proper adjective. A proper adjective is one derived from a proper noun. For example, the English language, the Indian Ocean, the Victorian attitude. Here, English, Indian, and Victorian are the proper adjectives used for the language, ocean, and attitude respectively. Come to the next one, descriptive or the qualitative adjective. A descriptive, qualitative, or an attributive adjective is one that shows the kind and quality of a person or a thing. For example, a brave person, a beautiful child, a careful mother. Some attributive adjectives are derived from noun. For example, a law college, a flower garden. The next one is quantitative adjective. A quantitative adjective is one that shows how much means the quantity of a thing is meant. For example, I didn't eat any apple, he ate much bread, you drink little milk. A quantitative adjective is always followed by a singular material or an abstract noun. The next one is the numeral adjective. A numeral adjective is one that shows the number or serial order of persons or things. They are further divided into two main classes: definite numerals and indefinite numerals. The definite numerals shows some exact number. There are three kinds of definite numerals: cardinal, ordinals, and multiplicatives. Indefinite numerals do not show an exact number. For example, all, some, enough, some, many, few, none, several, etc. The next one is demonstrative adjective. The word demonstrative means to point out or to show something. So similarly here the demonstrative adjective is one that point out which person or thing is meant. For example, this boy, that person, those men, etc. For example, this boy is very clever. The next one is distributive adjective. A distributive adjective is one that refers to each one of number. There are 4 distributive adjectives. For example, each, every, either, neither. The next one is interrogative adjective. Interrogative adjective is used to ask a question. For example, whose pen is this? What book is that? Which flower do you like best? Here, whose, what, and which are restricted specifically for the usage of interrogative adjective. The last one is possessive adjective. The word my, our, your, his, her, its, their, when used before a noun, are called possessive adjectives. After understanding the concept of adjective, open your book, page number 9. Exercise A. Choose the correct adjective. And exercise B. Find out the adjectives from the unit and use them in sentences. You have to complete the book exercises on page 9. Find out 10 adjectives from the lesson. Use of found adjectives in sentences to be done on loose sheets. The next topic is conditionals and the types of conditional sentences. Let's discuss what are conditionals. Conditionals describe the result of a certain condition. Conditional sentences divided into two clauses, if clause and the main clause. The if clause is also known as dependent clause and the main clause is known as an independent clause. The if clause tells you the condition, for example, if you study hard, and the main clause tells you the result of that condition. For example, you will pass your test. The change in order of these clauses does not change the meaning of the clauses. For example, if you study hard, you will pass your test. You will pass your test if you study hard. So, if you observe in both conditional sentences, the meaning is identical, although the position of the clauses have been changed. Now, I will teach you the first conditional sentence given in Unit 1. First conditional sentence is used for talking about possibilities in the present or in the future. The structure of the first conditional sentence is a first conditional sentence consists of two clauses, if clause and the main clause. The tense in the if clause is the simple present and the tense in the main clause is simple future. Now look at the table to make your concept more clear about the structure. If clause and the main clause. If clause shows the condition and the main clause gives us the result. The sentence structure of the if clause is if plus present simple plus comma, and the sentence structure of the main clause is subject plus will plus base verb. Now, the first conditional sentence will be like, if it rains, I will stay at home. If you study hard, you will pass the test. Now, let me explain you further about the first conditional sentence. If the if clause comes first, a comma is usually used. If the if clause comes second in the sentence, there is no need for a comma. In all the conditional sentences, the order of the clauses is not fixed. When you change the order of the clauses, the meaning is identical. Now, if we change the order, the structure will be like main clause comes first and the if clause comes second. But the structure of the main clause and the if clause will be same. For example, I will stay at home if it rains. You will pass the exam if you study hard. Now let's have few more examples to make our concept more clear. Examples. If it is sunny tomorrow, I will go to the park. Nobody will notice if you make a mistake. You will miss the bus if you don't hurry. I hope all this explanation with the help of examples helps you to comprehend the topic first conditional sentence. Now your task is to complete book exercises C and D on page 10 and 11. After understanding the first conditional type sentence, students have to complete the book exercises C and D on page 10 and 11. They have to use appropriate verbs to make conditional one sentences. The next topic is paragraph writing. At first, I'll teach you what is a paragraph. A paragraph is a group of sentences deals with one topic. There are three parts of paragraph: topic sentence, supporting sentences, and the concluding sentence. The topic sentence introduces the topic you are about to discuss, and tells the reader what the paragraph is going to be about. Next part is supporting sentences. Supporting sentences give explanation and examples supporting the main idea. You should support your point with relevant evidences and examples. Evidence can include facts, statistics, or details of a case study. In the concluding sentence, you will wrap up the paragraph by returning to your main point and showing the overall consequences you have explored and discussed in the paragraph. While writing a paragraph, you have to keep in mind a paragraph should be unified, coherent, and relevant to the topic given to you. After having an idea of paragraph writing, students have to brainstorm themselves to collect the ideas about the topic
kindness of Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. They have to write down a paragraph of 60 to 70 words on the given topic on loose sheets. The next topic is application writing. I will explain you the format and structure of formal application written to the principal of school or college for various purposes. At first, you should know use of formal language means no use of contraction. Do not include any informal style, expression, or casual tone. Formal applications are usually short and to the point. Students have to write application for various purposes like for urgent leave, for sick leave, for change of section, for fee concession or provision of character certificate, etc. Now I will explain you how to write an application according to the format. This is the format you will follow for writing a formal application in ninth class and specifically in board exam. First of all, with the left margin of the page, write inside address. Inside address is the name of the person whom application is given. Here you will write the principal, school ABC, city DEG. Skip a line and write subject. The subject for the given application is application for sick leave. After subject, skip a line and write salutation, sir or madam. Next, you will write the main body of application. You will introduce yourself by saying, I would like to say, I humbly state, or with due respect it is stated, and then give reasons. Like in the application for sick leave, you will write, with due respect it is stated that I am not in a state to attend the school as I am down due to fever. I want to bring in your notice. I have been advised by the doctor to take proper rest for at least 4 days. Here you will write the number of days for leave. While concluding the application after completion of the main body and thanking gestures like I am thankful to you for your kind act, etc., write complimentary closing yours obediently XYZ date. I hope you have comprehended the format of an application. Now the task is assigned to you. You have to write an application about sick leave or an urgent work and this work to be done on loose sheets. This we come to an end of second week lecture. I hope you have well comprehended it. Please remember all the tasks should be done in loose sheet.